Oh. 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 Ooh. Some jobs we have to do or chores we have to get done are lots of fun, and some not so much. For me, that would be picking up George's poop in the backyard. On the other hand, there's things I need to do as a pet owner to take care of George that I love to do, like taking him for walks, playing outside, and even feeding him, because I can see how much George loves eating, and I can kind of relate. Well, as Christians, Jesus gives us a job to do, and it's more of a get to, not a have to. It's in that category of something we should do, but something we want to do because it's really amazing. And that's our big idea. Jesus gives us a job: go and make disciples. A disciple is a student of Jesus, someone who has a relationship with Jesus and is learning from Jesus how to live life. Last time we learned about the earth-shaking news that Jesus rose from the dead, and he let the women know first, who let the men know, and then all of his disciples actually saw Jesus for themselves and they worshiped him. Then Jesus told them to go to a different place, to Galilee, a northern province, and he would meet them there for some more teaching. So the 11 disciples went to Galilee to meet again with the risen Jesus. I said 11 disciples. Remember, there were 12, but now there's only 11. You see, now they've lost the disciple Judas, who betrayed Jesus. And then he felt so terrible about what he had done, he took his own life. Now, one disciple down, 11 disciples still moving forward with Jesus are ready for a huge encounter. So in Galilee, Jesus appeared to his disciples again, and we read about it in Matthew chapter 28. Starting at verse 17, it says, "When they saw him, they worshiped him, but some still had their doubts." That's interesting. They worshiped Jesus, they loved Jesus, but some still couldn't believe what they were seeing. Hey, listen, do you ever have questions? Do you ever think, yeah, but what about this? Do you ever wonder things about your own faith? Do you ever have doubts? That's okay. Jesus doesn't mind. He can use worshiping doubters or doubting worshipers. As long as we move forward with Jesus and keep learning from him, we can bring all our questions to Jesus. Now, reading on, we read this. Then Jesus came to them. He said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me." What's authority? Authority means he has all the power. Everything centers on him. He's the one who has the right to tell us how to live. And that's good, because he's going to teach us the way to live that is best for us. Jesus has just said, it's all about me. So you must go and make disciples of all nations. Baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Notice it's one name, but it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You have all three in one. Then verse 20, Jesus says, "Teach them to obey everything I have commanded you." Hey, did you notice that word obey? That makes all the difference. Jesus didn't say, teach them what I commanded you. That would mean just learn my teachings. Whatever you do with it doesn't matter, but learn them. No. He says, teach them to obey. When we help people become disciples or students of Jesus, we don't just help them learn, we help them live the teachings of Jesus. And in conclusion, Jesus says, "And you can be sure that I am always with you to the very end." And there we have the last words of Jesus to his disciples. Don't worry, I am always with you to the very end. And then he leaves them. Isn't that interesting? His last words, I'm never going to leave you. And then, okay, bye. Jesus goes back up to heaven. It's called the ascension. But he sends the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit brings us the presence of Christ, the mind of Christ, the person of Christ to us. So through the Holy Spirit, Jesus is still with us today, now, all the time, everywhere we go. So now, every day, in partnership with Jesus, we get to do this wonderful job, to make disciples. And how do we make disciples? Well, step one is be a disciple. Learn the teachings of Jesus, and then live the teachings of Jesus, and then other people won't just hear about Jesus, they'll see Jesus in your life. And you know, Jesus not only gives us the Holy Spirit to help us, he gives us each other. And I've got to say, I'm really grateful that I've got you, and I'm glad we're doing this together. Well, I'm Bruxy, and it's been wonderful hanging out with you, my brothers and sisters, talking about Jesus.
Question time. Jesus showed up on a mountain to meet with his disciples. There, him, but some doubted, greeted, worshipped, high-fived, or hugged. Jesus told them to go and make of all nations disciples, friends, enemies, or snowmen. Jesus told them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank, encourage, baptize, or befriend. Game time! Goliath. Can you say the key verse before the battle is over? Get ready! 3, 2, 1, go! Say it with me. The Lord is my rock and my place of safety. He is the God who saves me. My God is my rock. Psalm 18, verse 2.